Hey everybody. This is my hat for today. I'm gonna wear my hood. So it's been a couple days. I'm having mixed feelings about my editing today. So on the one hand, I've done very well with it. At this point, I've cut about 10,000 words total from the story. So I'm down from 192,005 to about 181,008. And I'm still working on it. And I'm starting to get to the point in my story where I know that there's a lot I can just axe. So I'm working on rewriting a scene right now. Another thing that I've done in the editing process is I've kind of smashed smashed my chapters together. So instead of having 50 smallish chapters, I've kind of been grouping them into 3 chapters at a time. So now each one of my chapters is about 10,000 words. So I like it better. It's almost like an arc, and the points of view, instead of having one chapter per point of view now one chapter has several points of view. And I've been trying to keep an eye on them too to make sure that at least it's clear when the point of view changes, and so far I think that it is. I've had to make a couple adjustments to make sure that it is, but so far so good. So that's the good part about the editing. The bad part is I'm still not even halfway done. Why does this take so long? I put a status up on my Facebook. Oh, I gotta quiet that because it'll jump up and down. I put a status up on my Facebook and I was like, look, I love reading long books. I love writing long books. I fucking despise editing long books. Oh my gosh. I usually really like editing, but because I'm trying to be so careful, and because the story's such a mess from NaNoWriMo, and because it's the longest story I've ever written, it's been just an absolute chore. So that's my mixed feelings on the editing front right now. It's chugging along. I have been working very hard on it, but it's like hours a day, and I feel like I'm not making any progress at all. I'll get there. Other news. I crossed 100 likes in Facebook yesterday. That was awesome. I have 108 today. I never thought that I'd even have like 30, so that was really, really cool. I've been hemorrhaging Twitter followers. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with me retweeting that bit about the Salvation Army being anti-gay. That's my guess. That's really the only thing that happened today that was different than any other day. So I'm like, I don't really know why I'm losing Twitter followers. I can't say that I really care. But it does kind of fascinate me that it changes so much from day to day. Yesterday I gained like 6 and I ended up at like 81, and today I lost like 6, so I don't know what happened. Because I don't know any of them in the first place. Like, I look at my followers list and I can't even tell who left, so shows you how much that we love each other. My Neopets Altador Cup team, yeah, I just went there, likes to say, haters gonna hate, potato's gonna potate. So that's my response to that, as ridiculous as it sounds. Coffee's been good today, can you tell? I like this hood. I think it makes me look cute. I had a few things I wanted to cover today in regards to writery things. We made a couple updates to the blog page. Now there's several tabs for pages across the top for things that I wanted to put in there. There's nothing in them yet, so don't run and go look because there's nothing there. But we added a tab for helpful things, so where I've posted like character development pages and stuff, eventually I'd like to populate that list with things that I'm hoping might help new writers. Query letter tips, the difference between having an agent and not, those kinds of things. Eventually I'd like to put some information there. We have a lot of followers now, we didn't really expect that, so we also have a lot of blog posts, which we also didn't really expect to do. So if it's going to be helpful for you, I feel like you should at least have some way to find the information that you need without having to drag through our hundreds of posts. So if we find things that we think are especially useful, I'm going to put those there. I put a tab there for bonus material, which is just going to be like if I find something really fun that I think you guys will like Neil Gaiman reading the Jabberwocky, because that was really awesome. I'll just put it there for you in case you get bored and want to look at it, or in case I want to find it again. Let's be honest. And then I put the other one there is for books. That's for when Frankie and I publish things. Maybe you don't know this already, but Frankie already has a book published. It's old. It was published like 2 years ago. It's called The Scientist's Daughter, and it's on Smashwords. It's like $2.50 is how much it costs, and it's just an ebook. So if you want a writing sample of Frankie's and you would like to support her, you can go buy that. So I'm hoping to link that there, and in the future when we publish things, because it's totally happening, I don't care what anybody says, then we'll put those there as well. That way you can find them. Other things that I wanted to cover, one of our blog followers, I think it was Talmage. I'm gonna go find it real quick because I don't want to get this wrong. It really sucks to give somebody credit in a video and then not get it correct. Bear with me and watch me drink coffee. M. Talmage Moorhead. I hope I said that right. Posted a link in one of his comments about Twitter hashtags. Some ones that I had missed. So in the text of this blog post, I'm going to recap what's on it and add a few more that also weren't on it. Besides just the Twitter pitching events, there are other hashtags that are useful for Twitter, and I'm pretty familiar with some of them now, and that page actually added some more, so thank you for that. And I'll add that to the end of this post. Another thing, a while back I actually went to an event at the library, and there was a new author there, a local author, who had just had her first book published, and she was giving some tips. The takeaway message for me, she said that one of the most helpful things that she did was hire a professional editor. It's horrendously expensive though, so unless you're like really awful at editing and don't have any friends to do it for you, I wouldn't recommend it. But the other thing that she said, and I think that this is probably a good idea, it's something that I don't do but might be helpful for you, is writing contests. If you look around the internet, like Writer's Digest, which is also something that you should probably look into having, they run these little contests every now and then where you can submit a story and like win money and stuff. But the thing about these contests is that they're often judged by professional agents, publishers, editors, authors even. So if you get, and they'll critique you, and I think they critique you privately. So it's basically like a free way to get professional assistance with how your writing is going, and a chance to win money, and a chance to start a following and gain attention for your writing. So you might want to look into that. I haven't looked into it. I'm already bogged down enough with all of the ideas running rampant through my brain, and the fanfiction, and the stories, and of course the copious amounts of tedious editing. So not for me. The other note that I have written down here is character death. So, Frankie mentioned in her last video that her and I had a discussion about one of my characters, who, by the way, for the record, I read his voice in Crispin Freeman's voice. Crispin Freeman's a voice actor. He's very famous for his role. His role as Hellsing from Hellsing, the anime, and from Naruto as Itachi, who's totally my favorite character. But his name, the character's name is Tarandale. He's in my story. Frankie was telling me that she really likes Tarandale, and I'm very, very fond of utilizing major character death. I really love to hurt my characters. So I told her, I was like, oh, Frankie, you can't tell me things like that because you'll just make me want to kill him that much more. It's so true, too. Because the more I know that you love one of my characters, the more I want to squeeze your heart and kill the character off. So, word to the wise, if you do become a fan of my work and you're following me around the internet, don't ever tell me you like a character. I'm like George R.R. Martin, and I will kill that fucker quicker than you can blink. Oh, what else? I wanted to say something else, but I forgot what it was. So if I remember it, I'll just put it in the text of our blog. As closing statements, I went to the bookstore today and I spent my, I got a gift certificate from my NaNoWriMo friends for participating for $40 at the local bookstore. And, oh, this is something you might not know. So if you go to a bookstore and they don't have the book you want, did you know that every single bookstore will order it for you? Yep, somebody I followed on Twitter told me that. They said, trust me, I've worked at 5. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. So, taking her advice, I went to my local bookstore, which is kind of hoity-toity conservative, and they don't stock all the stuff that I want to read, because I think they're against it, I'm gonna guess. But I made them order it for me, and they totally did, so I have a whole bunch of smut on the way. I also have a book that I've been really, really looking for. So, Senpai's authors, I follow all over Twitter. And today one of them followed me. I love it when that happens. I'm like, I've been courting your affection for so long you don't even know this, but she's a new author, and she has written a new fantasy novel that I was really interested in, because out of Senpai's writers, I believe that this one and me might have the most in common with writing styles, and so I was kind of trying to get a sense of what it is that Senpai is looking for, so I've been trying to get my hands on her novel for forever, and now we follow each other on Twitter. I can't wait to read it. I just can't wait. It's, I'll tell you about it, you know, some other day. But basically the premise is that the female characters are strong. There's 2 of them, so it reminds me of my own, and there's no romance. So, which is something in my fanfiction that it's very near and dear to my heart, because so much fanfiction is romance that I tried for a long time not to write any romance at all. And so I feel like me and this writer kind of have a lot in common, writer-wise. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and I think that is it for this video. So, one more dramatic sip of coffee. And I'm signing off. So see you guys next time.